Hello and welcome to this short little video. This is just to show the method of getting a 3D model out of a 3D program like Blender as a 2D sprite and bring it into Photoshop and to prepare it for bring it into Unity. So this is my robot, and I can if I go to my animation window here, we can see that the robot, hang on, I'll just very quickly shift back to Eevee so we can see what we're doing. And the robot has a walk cycle, so you can see it's a very basic walk cycle. So it's got 5 keyframes, so the first keyframe and the last keyframe are identical, and we have done I've done copy pose and then flipped the pose. So if I, with the skeleton selected here, if I just nip into pose mode, so you can see here that I've gone copy pose and then paste pose flipped to get this from this, and then I've just repositioned the character to get some lift. So it's a 30 frame animation. Now I don't want 30 frames in my sprite animation. I mean, it would be beautifully smooth, but it might be a little bit too much work. So that's I'm not going to show you how to make the model or animate it. I have other videos up there showing you how to do stuff like that. This camera, however, let's have a very quick look at it. So this camera is set to being orthographic. So when I look through the camera, I'm going to get a sprite that's completely flat, so there's no perspective in this at all, and that it literally just fits in with the design of our 2D game, which is a side scroller. So you can swap between like perspective and orthographic in the camera settings, and then you can use the orthographic scale to zoom in and out on your character. So so that's how the character is set up. So it's going to flick into render settings now, and I'm going to flick back to cycles, and we'll go to rendering. Yeah, so let's have a quick look here. So we're in cycles and on GPU. Under film, I need to turn on transparency, so that when I render it, I get this alpha channel around the camera or around the character. Otherwise, I'll have a problem when I go into Unity. So let's have a look at some of these other settings that we need to have a look at. So don't need any motion blur. I have set my my tile sizes to 256 by 256 just to make it a little bit faster for the render. And at the moment my resolution is 1920 by 1080, so I don't really need it that big because the character will never be that big on the screen. So we'll make it we'll just for simplicity's sake, rather than putting in numbers, we'll just set it to be 50%. So it'll be 800 or 900 by 500 roughly. So I'm going to set my path here, and let me just put this onto my desktop, which is very messy, and I'm going to create a new folder, and we'll call this boss sprites. Okay, and give it a name. We'll call it boss, and hit accept. And so we've got a couple of interesting things here. So we've got the start frame and the end frame, so we are all of 30 frames long, but I don't want all 30 frames because I'll just have too many to work with. So I'm actually going to set the steps to 2. So now it's only going to render every second frame. Okay, so let's have a look and see if we can get this to render. So Let's try to check if there's anything else we need before we render this out. And I don't think so. I think I'm ready to go. So this window here will show my render results, and I have and I am looking for this one here. So F12 is render still, and then render animation is what we're looking for. So it's up here in the render menu. So so ready to go. So it's going to be a GP render, and we're going to go render animation. So we should get 15 of these, and they should pop up in our folder that we've set up. Okay, so we're nearly done. So we're on frame 19. So nearly there, 25. So 2 more. And this 29 should be the last one. Okay, so we're done. So this is my folder here, my boss sprites, and this is these are the exported PNG files. So what I want to do now is very quickly, I'm just going to launch up Photoshop, and I'm just going to show you how to throw them into a sprite sheet and make a very simple sprite sheet for this character. Now, we just have a walk cycle. You probably will have a sprite sheet that will be that'll have a couple of animations in it, so for dying, for fighting, etc. But just for simplicity here, we'll just go with our walk cycle. So I'm going to make a custom document, and we're going to make something that is 2048 by 2048. So to be divisible by 2, and we want our resolution. We're going to just leave all the rest of it actually as it is. Let's hit create. Now, I have not created a transparent background, but that's okay. So we'll get rid of you. Now, so I'm just going to keep this nice and simple. So and to show you the technique. So I'm going to go File, Open, and we're going to go to our boss sprite here, and we want all of these. So I'm going to bring them all in. So there we are. So I want untitled, and then I'm going to take boss 1, and I'm going to go edit, copy, and then jump back to untitled, which is that one there. I'm going to go edit, and paste. Now I see what I have done. I have made an amazingly wonderful error. So I'm going to close this image. I'm going to say no, I don't want to save any changes to it, and create a new image. And this one is going to be in pixels and not in centimeters. So 2048 by 2048 pixels, not and 72 dpi. Cool, great. We'll just forget what I've just done there. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go edit and paste, and there's my character. So so I'm going to put him there. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in a guide. So where is my... I should really have prepared this a little bit better, but anyway, let's go. So let's go, so we're going to go show, and we want to make sure we're on, yeah, so all those things are good. So we're going to go new guide, and we want it to be horizontal. We're going to go OK, and we're just going to move it to here. So then when we put our next, when we put our other pieces in, then we'll know that they're all in the correct position. So I've put in number 1 here. So this is number 1, so I don't need this again. So the next thing I want is, the one I want to look at is number 3. So again, I'm going to go edit, copy, and then go back to my untitled one. And I'm going to go edit, paste. And simply move this up till it's sitting on the line. That's number 2. Now I want to make sure there's no overlap between them. The gap between them is not massively important, so long as they don't overlap. So this is number 3, so I'm finished with you. And I want number 5 now. So soon, once we get through a couple of these, we won't have to go up to that menu. So I'm going to go edit, copy. This is number 5. I can actually close it now, don't need it. This is my untitled layer, so edit, paste. And you'll notice because I made this at 50% when I exported the render, in terms of how it fits in here, it fits in quite nicely. I don't have to rescale them all here. So I can go number 7 and go edit, copy, and close 7, and then edit, paste, and set this guy here. And I can go to number 9 and just repeat the process. Okay, and 11. So this is the last one I'll fit on this line here. So I'll go back to view and go new guide. Now we want this to be horizontal as well, and we'll move it to there. And then we'll go to 13 here and go edit, copy, edit, paste, and move this guy to here. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Now I'm sure somebody will tell me a much slicker way of doing this, but this is what works for me. And we are going to go here, edit, copy, edit, paste, and we'll close that guy. Edit, copy, edit, paste, and Okay, and I believe that's a duplicate, so we'll just delete that layer. And if we missed one, it wouldn't be a travesty. It just means the animation wouldn't be perfectly smooth. So edit, paste. And edit, paste. Now this animation is going to be looped, so I'll be going from this one back to this one, so I actually don't need that one there. I mean, it'll make the animation a tiny bit smoother, but just for convenience we'll leave it out. So I'm going to select that there, and I'm going to go image crop because I don't need the rest of it. Now I should really have an image that's to the power of 2, but we'll live with that. And then I'm going to save this out, so save as, and I want to save it as a PNG file, and so I can retain the alpha channel. And we'll call this boss Sprite Sheet walk. Okay. And okay. So we're going to finish up at that. This is meant to be a short video, so it's a bit longer than I thought it would be, but this is what we've ended up with. So we started off in Blender with our 3D character, and we have set an orthographic camera. The character had a very simple static walk cycle. We've rendered it out at about 900 by 500, and then we've made a simple document here in Photoshop and copied and pasted all the rendered images in, and that's what we'll use in Unity for our boss character. Okay, so we will stop at that.